reparations. It's a contentious issue. It seems to be getting louder and angrier, even outside of the United States.
What reparations would you want?
Reparations actually begin with an acknowledgement of the historical injustices by way of chattel, colonial and neo-colonial enslavement. And therefore, one of the things that we are calling for is an all-party parliamentary commission of inquiry for truth and reparatory justice to explore the impact of this history on our present.
And what do you think of the offer of a prison?
The offer of a prison is ludicrous. In fact, prisons were developed as part of the penal system to keep enslaved Africans subjugated. And so this is really a relic of colonialism.
And Peter Bone, it's a pretty crass thing to go and do, isn't it? I mean, popular in Britain to get rid of villains, but...
Well, it's not popular.
June 19th, 1865 was the day enslaved people in Texas were the last to learn they'd been freed by President Lincoln. We thought it was the right time to explore the growing debate over reparations.
In 1865, after the American Civil War, there was a debate about whether the freed slaves should get something for their service. A proposal was bandied about, but never came up for a vote. It was calculated that 40 acres and a mule to work the land would be fair compensation. The South strongly opposed giving anything to the freed slaves, so it never happened. Anxious to move on from a long and brutal war, the North dropped the issue. The former slaves justifiably felt betrayed, but could do nothing about it. However, the mantra 40 acres in a mule is carried forward. During periods since the Civil War era, people uninterested in Black Americans' concerns used rhetoric and extreme violence to silence them. The Civil Rights era was probably the last period when these tactics were used. After Black Americans won their civil rights and the right to vote, a different tactic was used to manipulate them. Democratic politicians have been using it for 60 years to ensure loyalty to their party. The latest example was 2020, when Joe Biden stopped bragging about how proud he was of the 1994 crime bill and how many Black people he put in prison, and switched to telling Black people that reparations were on the table. I was literally in Philadelphia the night Biden was declared the winner, and saw Black people dancing in the streets. It was so prevalent that they blocked traffic, and I had to change my plans to go out to eat that night. When I opened my car window and asked the first Black person that would talk to me why they were so happy, they told me because Joe Biden was on his way to the White House and they would now get their reparations. I was shocked at this statement because I watched the campaign from the beginning when Biden was still unapologetic about the 1994 crime bill, which was in large part responsible for Hillary Clinton losing in 2016. Everyone I know in the US who was eligible to vote, especially Black men, said they did not vote for Hillary because of her support for the 1994 crime bill and the super predator's rhetoric she seemed fond of spewing back then. How Biden could win despite being the author of the crime bill still puzzles me. Here's why I think reparations will never happen. Immigration. Since Biden became president, there has been a massive and uncontrolled flow of immigrants to the U.S. The media has been silent on how many immigrants have come in, but I have heard unconfirmed reports that it has been 5 million. That is the closest to an official number that I know of, and that is people who have been processed. The amount of what they call gotaways is probably another 5 million more, which makes the tally 10 million. If this continues, there is no reason why it won't. There could be 5 to 10 million more by the end of Biden's first term. Emboldened by their status, immigrants have openly stated their opposition to reparations. In some areas of the country, barriers to illegal immigrants voting are being removed. My contention is, once enough immigrants are given the vote, reparations will be forced to the floor of Congress with bipartisan support. It will be voted down, and that will be the end of the debate. Congress will proclaim the end of the debate as the will of the people and move on once and for all. Honestly, Black Americans should have seen this coming. Supporting the Democratic Party in the 90 to 95% range at the exclusion of all others made them take their vote for granted. Falling for the nonsensical mantra that voting for a Republican was akin to betraying your race has been a gift to Democrats who couldn't care less about black people. If you don't believe it, look at cities and states where many black people live. They are overrun with crime, and these places make it nearly impossible for black Americans to defend themselves. The idea that you have to be disarmed in order for the state to protect you is utter insanity. In many of these places, if someone breaks into your house in the middle of the night to rob you or kill you, you have a duty to vacate your own premises rather than defend yourself. How a black person could continue to support a party who has policies like this is beyond me. In my opinion, black Americans should accept this reality and move on. Statistics show buying power in the black community is $1.6 trillion. The problem is that the money leaves the community within 6 hours. Data and statistics back this up. In comparison, money circulates around the Jewish community for 19 days, the Asian community for 28 days. If you have ever visited either of these communities, you'll notice they essentially have everything they need to live. Other immigrant communities are the same way, even among non-American blacks. The black American community should study and learn from these communities. They're less concerned with racism or what others think of them, and more concerned with peace and harmony among themselves. If you like our work, please like, share, and subscribe. If you'd like to support us, the links for Cashapp and Patreon are in the description. Have a nice day.